Thanks for the life of Carl Young because, may I tell you, him start a revolution in Jamaica, a revolution in radio, a revolution in how radio station can run and be not only profitable, but also be far-reaching. Far-reaching this station is, IRFM. So we give thanks to that and we say, enough for the radio station now, you have about 20 different radio stations right now, but none of them can really beat IRFM. For years, IRFM has been number one. We hope that we can say that next year and next year and next year too. Yes. So this is another version of the same tune, I Shall Be Released. This is done by Ma'atelo Queens out of South Africa. The one we just played was by late Miriam Makeba out of South Africa and Nina Simone, late Nina Simone. Well, I Shall Be Released was popularized in Jamaica by the Ebtones, who are of Leroy Sibbles. But that tune was written by a white man named Bob Dylan. Yes, Bob Dylan wrote that tune, I Shall Be Released. Very serious commentary. Very serious commentary upon the struggle of our people over the years. Why you love Shane? Yes, you love Shane, man. What you mean? Why you love Nigel? Of course. Them two man, they make the thing possible. You understand? So, big respect. So you know, the thing get away, you know, as you have heard over the week, so much things happen. The brethren George Floyd have been buried, and the controversy keep going on and on and on. But it take another turn now, because a lot of the demands that was necessary and important for evil kind of make something look like it going to happen. We see that the demands have been carried out and a lot of it seems to have been accepted, you know, in terms of the stepping up the murder to murder 2 instead of 3. All of the man them get charged. I think the one with the whole them get 1 point something $1 million bail, and next one must have gone 700,000 bail. They make a thing where the Minneapolis police and in California, a lot of funds will be moved from the police force to deal with certain social issues. You know, we see that the brother of George spoke to Congress and talked about how them can help alleviate the racism that exists in the police force, because there is racism in the police force on a level. And then there is this killing 2 days before them killed George. We did mention a killing gone by a brethren from Jamaica 2 weeks ago. I think it's 2 weeks ago when it said. We actually got it mixed up. It was a brethren named Maurice Garden, a Jamaican brethren named Maurice Garden. When I hear the name, I nearly fell in grease because my keyboard, my guitar player named Maurice Garden, but I know him there in Canada. And we are trying to find out if it's his son, because Maurice Garden, yes. Anyway, a killing went on in New Jersey by a police who killed this Jamaican brethren whose car broke down on the highway and him couldn't move. Anyway, that's the next story for tomorrow still. We won't talk about tomorrow, but we really want to see, the next thing we will develop is that them have broke down the statue, them all over the place. Statues that go down, fall like how them did fall Saddam Hussein statue in Iraq. We see statues all over the place that get a fall. And people in Jamaica, there was 2 demonstrations, as a matter of fact. And one of the things that come out of it was actually Well, not come out of it, but it was there before still. They was talking about renaming Lady Musgrave Road. A lot of people might not know, but we have spoken about this on radio many times over the years, that the black man who owned Devon House, it was a black man who did own Devon House, if you never know. He was like the first black millionaire. And what happened is that Lady Musgrave did not want to pass the house. How deep racism is. That a man build a house, shouldn't black, want to pass him house. So they actually had to build a different road so she can go up to King's house. And say, Lady Musgrave Road lead to King's house. And the road which should have passed the Hope Road there, past King's house. So she never really want to take that route there for King's house. They had to build a next road, and thus Lady Musgrave. Ironically, Marcus Garvey's, there was two buildings there that was owned by Marcus Garvey. One of them in family used to live in her. One of them is now, you see the boss of Marcus Garvey is in there. And then the other one was Cross Road, where that big hotel now is. Marcus Garvey used to do it. So anyway, them is now, they have a petition to rename Lady Musgrave. I don't know if nobody would, not that nobody would object to it, because you have some people out there where hell-bent and not seeing anything representing the mass of the people's wishes be recognized. You have people in Jamaica who stay so, some bossy slave especially. Well bossy. Yeah, them tighter than the white man tie. I can't forget the imagery with Branson, the owner of Virgin Airlines and Oldness. Oldness well suit up. I don't know if anybody, I don't want it so like a B1 to that picture there. Not a picture, it's a video. Oldness well suit up, and Branson rushed him and I drive him tie. Because say, Branson them man, them just easy like Sunday. You don't see, them not really on the fussy business. Them are white people already. But you have some bossy niggas about the place where them want to behave more like the white man and the white man, like when Malcolm X said, when the house slave and the field slave, when the master house are burned down, the field slave, the house slave look upon the master and say, Master, we house burning. And him first run for water for out it. But when the field slave to the house are burned down, him just throw more trash pan it and make it burn. So what you really have now is that a lot of people now is recognizing that a lot of these statues, and we have been saying all the while that it's ironical that in St. Anne, where Marcus Garvey come from, and Marcus Garvey's school is, there is a statue of Columbus, Christopher Columbus, right beside the school. I don't know how that manifests itself that way there. Why did they put that statue of Columbus right there so, besides Civil Great? Well, it's almost next door to Civil Great House, but right beside the school. I guess it did there before the school still, but it's an irony in ironies. Anyway, and we all know of some statues where it go down in South Africa the other day, but there's a lot of statues that went down, and now them are planned for move Cecil Road statue to lick it down totally. So all of these things is part of what came out of this George Floyd killing. It has intensified, not just walking on the road, but it is also about recognizing that some changes must happen. So we look upon the whole situation at these looking down at these statues. And we are say there is something that is embedded in the minds of African people over the years, which is the foundation of all of the racism that has been implanted. When we say implanted, we are talking about implanted in the DNA of African people. And it is the most dangerous statue, the most dangerous image that we can ever find in this struggle to liberate ourselves. The image of Jesus. The image of Jesus is the most destructive image to African people's psyche for years since them come in contact with this white Jesus that has been embedded in them. Them can't get it out. Can't get it out. No cure your conscious and claim to your conscious. It implants in you. It's like somebody stitch it in you. It's like somebody just glue it in. And we have that image in a way. The symbolism of tearing down those things is very important. But tearing down the statue of Jesus and walking around with it in your brains is really a problem. So we have to figure out now, what is it that we should do in the liberation of our minds? That you say, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That is what Marcus Garvey said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And that mentality that tells us that white people pray to the same God where you are praying to. And the position where you in is unbearable. We hear some people that talk about God now give more than you can bear. It's foolishness. Because you have some people where I bear some terrible pain to death. And where it says that if this image is functioning as our savior, and the slave master is praising that image, and the slaves are praising the same image, and for years, hundreds of years, both slave and slave master is worshiping the same image. And when we look on the position and possession of the slave, sometimes it look like it getting worse and worse and worse without the chain upon our foot, the chain they were upon our brain. And Marcus Garvey come and say, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. But guess what? That image, that white Jesus image, that image that most black people go to church every Sunday and Saturday to free themselves from all of this bondage that is taking place around them and inside of them. But guess what? No answer. No answer. You know why there's no answer? Because this Jesus that black people is praying to is busy looking about the welfare of white people who create that image. The white people put that image in manifestation. So white people is reaping the benefits of someone who look like them in the imagery. And black people bowing, scraping, begging, wanting to achieve something that they will never, never get. Because we have missed what we and who we are as a people. The first people, original people. We fail to understand fail to understand that that image will never do anything for any black person. And black people pray sometimes. Sometimes. Because most people who me know I push this Jesus Christian thing. Them will tell you, say, them use it to get through certain problems and certain situations. I will not lick that. Because man can use anything, devoting himself to it and get out a whole heap of situation. So, we are talking about collective. The collective. We as a collective must understand that we must work for the collective. And if all white people can think of one image, all white people can think of one image, and the image that look like them, I am seeing that them prayers will be answered, because what it shows that is not the image that is invoking the prayers, but it's the people themselves who is praying, using the image as them center, as them focus. And really and truly, that's all it is. It's a focus point where you need a focus. Just like how people say them need a guru. A guru is the Indian way of saying you need a master teacher. You need a person who you recognize like an oracle. You need that. And it allows you to focus more. Some people worship the image rather than recognizing the image as a stepping stone, rather than recognizing the image as a road to somewhere, to a point. The image is supposed to be like a pole with a sign. So it leads you to that road, like it said, now you're going to there, you're going to half a tree, and it said this way to half a tree. Half a tree is supposed to be the image. But the image must represent the person, must represent the person who create the image. A man can't create an image for you and you expect, say, the image are going to let him and work for you. So we, as African people, have to return to our center. We have to return to our center. No matter how stupid it might sound to other people who is following the European image. Like when Rastafari say Emperor Haile Selassie, some bossy slave are people who is moving towards bossiness. Because him have that image and that European logics, and I'm thinking, him can't see why a group of people would have say a man is God. And him don't recognize, say, the white man create the God where you are thinking about. The white man, God, was created by the white man. As a matter of fact, I will go as far as saying that all gods was created by mind, human being consciousness. All gods. In other words, God come into being because of man mind. Man consciousness invoke God. If there was no man, there wouldn't be any God. In order for God to exist, it must have man connection. People scared to hear them talk there. But if you stop and think about it, you will recognize what it is saying. That if there was no man, there would be no God. And you can't tell me that. Say, God was here before. How you know that? It's man consciousness, man mind, man understanding of self that bring forth this consciousness that them call God. And if you look at ancient spiritual linkage, whether it's Chinese, Indian, or whether it's Aboriginal people. Even though you see them have images, but them understand that it don't stop at the image. It go within the deepest part of the psyche of the human consciousness. And the human consciousness bring out what the human consciousness want to satisfy himself and make him be a being that is necessary upon this planet here. But man take a different turn, and African people follow the man, that human. Him is just a human, not necessarily a full man, a human. And when that human develop, and we recognize that that man out there is evil, because the first connection we have with him was evil. We show him kindness, and he brought us death. Aboriginal people feel it up to this day. And now we see a society that is embedded and crafted and created in the image of white people. Because them wasn't the original inhabitants of Africa, of America. Them go kill off the American them, the Native American them see people there, just like how them come here so and see Tainos and Caribs so, just like how them go to Australia and see the Aboriginal them, just like how them go all over the world and see people there, and then them use them image and manipulate and control, because the people them never expect that you have human beings reacting and relating to other human beings that way. As a matter of fact, they say we were not human beings. So them say. But look here, we're still there. We shouldn't be there still, but we survive. And to make it plain, if a man look for me and say, Muta, tell me something. You believe in a God? And I will look upon him and I will say, I don't really use the word again, you know, from a rise to another level. I don't use the word, but if I should use that word, I would say to him, non-apologetically, the only God that exists is the God that I create for myself. When I say, make that go right over to Muta say that. The only God that exists is the God where I create. So we hang on upon the European ideas and concepts of God. And as a collective, when I talk as one man go through and we say, see, help one man can help me. As a collective, because Europeans collectively understand what I deal with. And now the Europeans use that image so much now that a whole heap of them decide, say, all right, they don't need that image there anymore. So they move on. So most of the most peaceful and successful nations in Europe, would I call them, most of them is all atheists too. And not only that, most Jews are atheists. Most Jews, what I say, most Jews are atheists. All the area go on. When you look on Africa, where white man move from now, black people are taking it up more than ever before. Nigeria with about 200 million people. It's pure madness. Pure madness. Up to today, we hear about a pass out at St. Catherine. I tell a woman say he can heal her by having sex with her. And carry her go have sex with her. And then charge her $2,500 for the condoms and the things them when he charge her $2,500 for the condoms and all the hotel room when pay for all them something there. Understand? And she ball out for rape. She ball out for rape and all they black her up and all they go and become of him. But we get crazy. That is really what is happening with African people. Get crazy. If you look at Nigeria, South Africa, and all them places, the way rampant black people find this Jesus and is doing some weird things with it. And black people in America get caught with it, at these so-called prosperity preachers, evangelists, them can use them television network to make millions off of black people, while black people still have to march to get recognition in America. The net earnment, let me say, the money that African people make in America is more than all the budgets of the whole of the Caribbean island them combined. And the preacher, I don't matter if I go Europe, another preacher in a Jamaica, it's really weird. A preacher in a Jamaica who have a business with employ a whole heap of congregation, he might take out tithes out of their money. Imagine that, they might take out 10% of their money for the church. Which government agency approve them something there? That church man, because he have a business though, he might take out money, 10% out of the people their money for the congregation. Wicked them wicked. And we look all over the world, all over the globe. Black people is confused. Confused. This thing when him Jesus, Christianity, confuse black people. And it's getting so intense now. Intense. It's getting intense. So when we are talking about take down image, it's not just draw down the image. Because you have a big image when you go to São Paulo. If you, as you enter São Paulo, so there's a big Jesus on top of one hillside there, where it's a symbol of Brazil. Anyway, you see that picture there, you know it's Brazil. Anyway, in a movie, in a picture, anything, a Brazil that. And how you ever take down that? When I'm Jesus, may I listen to one of them today, and the blood of Jesus, and so much time the woman said the blood of Jesus to write that me start look for my body and find out if anywhere cut for me. The amount that blood of Jesus may I hear. And me I say, if that is what is going to get African people out of this thing here, what them call white supremacy. Because now white supremacy is on even white people mouth now because of this thing here we are going in America. It's the first I hear white people talk about white supremacy. So from my barn, it's the first I hear white people talk about white supremacy. So white supremacy still exists. And white supremacy is a condition where white people believe that they are superior to other races. As we played last week, we played the documentary last week. White supremacy is a embedded conditioning of white people in America. You have a white woman who say all white people is racist. White people, I tell you, you have a white woman who study white people in America, you know, she say all white people is racist. Them born that way, and some of them grow up and come out of that racist attitude. But that is something where it's entrenched in American society. That's why it hurt when me hear all a youth like Crawford, Damian Crawford. When Damian Crawford I talk about, we don't need Black History Month in Jamaica. A youth, I said that, youth, and I'm supposed to be educated. Because I say, the reason why Black History Month is relevant in America is because they are in a society where they are not the majority. Brethren, I can't stop saying that. And I was about 3 years now, I'm saying it, and it's on my mind so much now that a black youth in this modern time here, who say I'm educated, I talk about we don't need a Black History Month in Jamaica. And guess what? He must celebrate Christmas. He must celebrate Easter, and him say I'm a Christian. Him say I'm a Christian. And he must celebrate Easter. He must celebrate Christmas. And when you look on black people, what is it that the youth them in a school know anything about Africa? You think you can ask them little youth in a school know about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Steve Biko and all of them people there? Them, you think you don't even want to go far than that neither? Because you start going on deeper thing about all the Moors. Some of the teachers them never ever hear about the Moors yet. If you want to start going on Emotep and Akhenaton and all the people, some of them teachers don't even know that. And then we also we don't need black history. We don't celebrate not a pure white history. We celebrate in a Jamaica white history. We are entrenched. The Constitution is entrenched in white history. The justice system entrenched in white history. All of them is entrenched in white history. And a little youth come talk about we don't need Black History Month in a Jamaica because Black History was started. Black History was started that black people can recognize that there must be a time when you can review and revive the historical greatness of African people and human being and them culture in the world. Something like that no needed and necessary in at this time, yeah, especially with all them bleach face youth that walk on the place. Them don't know if them coming or going. Them don't have no respect. Them don't have no self-worth. No confidence in self, and you tell me say you don't need that. And no, we need it, brethren. No, we need it. I mean, I come off of you because it seems like when you talk about dirty labor right and cardboard, plywood, PNP, comrade, cardboard, no, him say plywood, comrade, and dirty labor right. And the same way all the labor right them feel when you talk about we don't need no Black History Month in Jamaica. As a youth. And guess what? My wife love him. My wife love him, you know? Yes. And the youth said, no, Black History Month. I said, boy, you know, you're lucky. Say, our family love you. Our family love you. So you kind of, we live still, but yeah, and that's right there. And that's right there, you know. That you go around Jamaica now and you talk to people about Africa. And them like you talk, what you talk about Africa for? You're looking at the paper sometime, I hear some bossy slave. I talk about these uneducated people who push about Pan-Africanism and Rastafari this and Rastafari that. If them not see Haile Selassie dead and all them things there, why them really have praised Selassie and him dead? And you have Jamaican people that follow these idiots. Because them a follow a man 2,000 years ago with dead 2,000 years ago with them claims and raised from the dead and say him going to come back and up to know him can't come back and look how much problem them in now. I see a picture, a woman send a picture today with a kind of a crippled youth. Him crippled. Very crippled. You know them youth were just crippled, a white youth, and him a play the keyboard with him toe. He might play the keyboard with him too, you know, and she say, looking at this picture now must make you believe that there is a God. Make you start to praise God. And in my mind, I say, really? Really? Me go look on that picture and praise God? I know me want to lick against it because I say, why make a youth come out like that? What is the proof? What him trying to prove? Whosoever this God supposed to be? What him trying to prove? To make a youth come out like that, to be a spectacle amongst men. It's crazy. It's crazy. So we are saying, no, we see certain things are going on. And hear the man sing the tune, arise, black people arise. Marcus Garvey say, don't a word theater, him say, look here, black man, who no love, kneel down too much, get up. That is what I'm saying. When you love kneel down too much, get up. My Johnny Clark say, Africa have no friends. No friends. Because we can't see that. We stand alone. Because if white people don't fight, we have fight against our own self. And we now recognize how ingrained that is. Self-hate is not self-worth. And when we kill each other, how can I get up and say that white people need for really change them ways. And I'm going to turn to you and say, but you know, so not kill off one another. All we are doing is help, you know. That's all we are doing. It's a serious thing. Serious thing. We look upon it as a sin. I never use the word sin, a shame. But after so much, man, I mean, we're not supposed to be there still, you know. But we're there. And we survive. So obviously, them can't get rid of it. Them have to go live with it. And when I ask for be superior, when I ask to be over nobody, means that's one of them Rasta we are talking about. Rasta have to go rule the world, you know. But they don't rule the world business, you know. Me's not one of those Rastas who is talking about Rasta must rule the world. We must decide our own destiny and don't make others decide it for us. Some of us can't look after our family and we are talking about rule world. We need to figure out self-worth and examine ourselves. We need to reclaim our Africanness, our divinity as African people, not to rule the world. You know, man, I tell you about, a Rasta rule the world, you know. Rasta rule the world and him can't find food to eat. Him want to go over this, him can't go over this. So. You think that's how people rule the world? A Jews and them boy that rule the world, power. And Marcus Garvey look and say, look upon how the Jews them run them thing. Him not tell them must be like them, you know, but you see how them run them thing, most of them things successful. Marcus Garvey say, yeah, look upon them. Marcus Garvey go meet the grandmaster of the Ku Klux Klan. You think he's love them? He might look upon them and say, see, let them stand up for the way them I believe in her. Want the African people. He must fight hard. And look there, white Ku Klux Klan is a terrorist organization. Yet still, America has never branded the Ku Klux Klan a terrorist organization. Never. Never brand the Ku Klux Klan as a terrible, as a terrorist organization. Look how much murder that organization commit against American citizens, black people. Look how much murder, lynching over the years, and they have never been branded a terrorist organization. And now we hear this president are going like say, the march, the people them who are march, is terrorists. He want to send out, well, him send them out. He want to send out the army and the National Guard and all these people. Forget you like the terrorists them. What wrong have we done to these people? All we need is to be understood as they are understood in themselves. And we must now carve out our own destiny. And the first thing we must do is find some power in ourselves. Power. Marcus gave about the hunger thing that man understand. It's power. Power beget power. And black people can't run round the place. Even this marching thing. As something we're going to start march. Marching can be the beginning, but we have seen marches for hundreds of years, and white people still have burned down your place, a little place burned down now, you want to talk about. You're up on Fox News. Them not talk about where the people them are asking, and them say, look here, they are burning down the place. Them burn down this, them burn down that, them burn down Target, them burn down Macy's and all that. And I'm talking about burn down the place not burned down. And people say, oh, look like them even burning their own community. Which own community? Black people don't own no community. Them don't own no community. And we go through that already. Watts riot, you know, Rodney King riot, you know, the time in that where the place in the middle of the Black Wall Street, them burn down the whole of that lynch whole heap of people. And the list goes on and on. And now them talk about killing of black people on the road. A man send me a thing in England a while ago, and when me look at the thing, I say, is what is? 3 police come up to a black youth, you know, and handcuff him and I search him. And him friend, you know, I take the phone and say, him not have nothing, and the police still hold him and I search him. When you look on the other side, another 2 police are search another black youth, handcuff them. 2 black youth that handcuff, you know, 3 people. They are traveling, you know, 3 people that travel. 1 white boy and 2 black youth. People, would you believe that the police them handcuff the 2 black boy them, and the white guys stand up there and I talk to them normal, and him not the same crowd. The youth who take the picture and say, you see it? I wanted to see this. Look. The black guy is handcuffed. The next black guy is handcuffed. And look at the white guy. He's standing there. What is this? And them think there's fury, man. Them think they hurt you, man. 2 black guy and 1 white guy, and police stop the 2 black guy them and handcuff them and search them. And the black guy just turn up, the white guy just turn up there and talk to the police normal. Nothing. Nobody not search him. They just talk to him like him and my friend like for a long time. That is how the thing go. And that is why anger is there. And white people have to do something about it, you know. Yeah, man, white people have to do something about it. Because, you know, you push a dog around for so long. One day, that dog is going to turn and bite you. You push a dog around for so long. One day that dog going to turn and bite you.
He was almost
the fear that white people had of black people was so deeply internalized and reinforced by church and government and business that black town halls were burned, black churches were burned. And if a black man defended himself against the aggressor, against the white man, not only could he be killed, but his family could be killed. He might be subjected to hours of torture. In some cases, more than one, a black man was tied on a log and burned from his feet up so that an extensive crowd of people could take pleasure out of the screams and the horror.
At his home near Savannah, Georgia, James Allen has collected a photographic record of racial violence in the South. For the past 20 years, he's found horrifying pictures in the family albums of ordinary Southern homes. Many are postcards that were mass-produced as souvenirs.
Some of these images were printed in the tens of thousands and sold for a dime or $1 a piece. Some of the postcards tell you where to write and the discounts you'll get if you buy 1, 10, or 100. They were sold in drugstores and pharmacies. They were sold on the street. I purchased a photograph from a woman. The photographer sold them door to door. Her mother bought the image for $2. A murder that is of particular interest to me was of a 17-year-old boy by the name of Jess Washington in Waco, Texas, in 1916. He was seriously mentally challenged. The wife of the farmer that he worked for was found dead. He was arrested. He was brought to trial. trial took from 10 until 12. And when the jury came back at noon and found him guilty, someone in the courtroom, and it would have been anyone in the courtroom, screamed out, "Get that nigger." And one of the worst and cruelest treatments of a human being began. Jess was kicked down out of the courthouse, down the back steps where a crowd of several hundred was waiting for him. They put a chain on his neck. There were 16,000 people crowding the street to watch this boy be tortured. Jess was tied to the chain over a branch of a tree. The fire was started. They raised Jess from the fire up into the air so that the crowd could see him. There were cheers, like at a football game, cheering the torturers on. When Jess tried to climb up the chain, hand by hand, they cut his fingers off one by one so that all he could do was slap at the chain. They lowered him back down in the fire. A man came up and castrated him. Another man kept a pole so that he couldn't crawl out of the fire. And time and again, they pulled him up to keep him from dying so that the crowd could be satisfied. Until he finally died.
Bob Marley saying it, concrete jungle. That is what we call it. We call it that too, concrete jungle. We want to heal up all the people them in the bush. We gotta listen to the cutting-edge them over the night, you know, put on them tea or burn a spliff or something and know say at the right place them there. You understand? No police can come in there, come take you out. The police afraid of bush, you know. Yeah, man, police afraid of bush, man. Them not like going to bush. Them prefer concrete jungle. Yeah, where them can fire shot and hope say it no lick nobody. In a bush now, them afraid. They don't know who they up at the coconut tree go jump on them. They don't know who then at the breadfruit tree go chew along a breadfruit and lick them at the middle of a coconut. Yeah, man. That's how we used to fight it, you know. Yes, that's how we used to fight it. You ever hear about Quaco? You ever hear them say you can't catch Quaco, you catch him short? A real story, you know. Them a run down Quaco and the man them chew drunk from mountain there, you know. And him shot each up on one bush there. And him just run. And when the man them come down there, then see him shot. Thus the term, you can't catch Quaco, you catch him shot. A true thing. Serious thing.
So what is not offensive to white America and to Trump? Well, the enslavement of Africans obviously was not that offensive to white America because it was here for so long. The systematic genocide of indigenous people was not offensive to white America. They supported it just like they supported the enslavement of Africans. They supported Jim Crow laws for so long. They supported redlining. They embraced the KKK. They still embrace the KKK. They do. It's a fact. It's the only terrorist group that has been allowed to operate in our country is the KKK. Why? Because they're a white terrorist group. Now, why would a nation allow a white terrorist group to operate? Because our nation is also a white terrorist group. So white America has never, ever, ever, ever been offended by any sort of injustice, including murder, today or yesterday. Tamir Rice, a little boy, playing with a plastic gun. The policeman rode up on him as fast as he could in the park without asking any questions, shot him dead in the park. A little boy with a little plastic gun, innocently playing in the park. The white policeman rode up, shot him dead in the park. Was white America offended? No. The mass majority of white America was not offended. When Michael Brown was executed, white America was not offended. They were quiet. They were silent. All the lynchings that happened, pregnant women being lynched in the past, hung by trees, their babies coming out of them and being stomped in the ground. White America wasn't offended. Emmett Till, white America wasn't offended. Sandra Bland, white America wasn't offended. Freddie Gray, Trayvon. Matter of fact, as usual, whether it's modern lynchings or historical lynchings, as usual, just like yesterday and today, white America's busy defending the perpetrators of racism, of white supremacy. So when I say we are a white supremacist nation, just look at the facts. What offends white America is when a football player kneels during the national anthem. Not when a black man is executed in the street by a racist police officer because that racist police officer only sees a stereotype of a criminal. And this is why black people have always been killed. They don't see their humanity. They see them as a racist stereotype. This is why black and brown folks have always been murdered. Reservations today, the Trail of Tears, Andrew Jackson on our currency. Why is that racist for Andrew Jackson on our currency? Because we celebrate racist. Collectively, culturally, as a people, white America has, what we're good at is apathy toward people of color, toward marginalized people. We're good at denial. We're good at projecting our racism back onto people of color, back onto brown and black folks. We pretend that many white people today, even today, pretend they live under black or brown supremacy, that there's some sort of black or brown supremacy that's oppressing them, that black people are more racist and have more power over white people than white people. The system of white supremacy operates, they pretend that it's a black and brown system, somehow suppressing them. White people are psychotic, socially and mentally psychotic. And from a racial point of view, in the context of race, they are psychotic, literally. And Trump is their psychopathic leader. You look at Obama, an eloquent, charming, gentle, beautiful human being, not a scandal, adored his family, was all about unity, solidarity. Then you look at Trump. Look at all the racist things he said. Look at all the racist, what a Nazi in the White House. White America has their hypocrisy, they have their apathy, they have their white supremacy, and they have their white supremacist leader, and they're happy. The only thing good is that they're coming out of the closet. The racism is showing, and that's always better than covert racism, because now we know who you are.
Yes, now we know. Serious thing. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. We'll continue the journey, you know. This is the cutting edge. And
that is why Jesus walked into the temple and he whipped people out. He said, all of you get out. One by one, get out. What are you selling? You're selling doves, get out. What are you selling? You're selling wristbands, out. What are you selling? You're selling anointing oil, Puma, out. What are you selling? You're selling stickers, oh, Puma, out. What are you selling? You're selling anointed towels, for what? Out. Tell me one man of God right now who's using his own anointing oil as a hand sanitizer. Tell me. Tell me one pastor right now. Listen, you are sitting here and you are sitting here. Tell me now. We are in quarantine together. We are quarantined together. We are isolated together. Tell me now, if there is any pastor you have heard or seen, all those pastors will sell anointing oil. Tell me if there is any pastor you have heard that is saying my anointing oil can work as a hand sanitizer. Tell me of all the pastors all over the world and all the prophets who've been claiming that they can heal the sick, who've been claiming that they're all powerful and mighty. Tell me one of those pastors we have gone to pray for coronavirus patients. Not even one. Not even. And you come and tell me that even after this corona passes, you will still march back to that church. You need deliverance. I'm telling you. You need deliverance. After corona passes, you will still take your Bible and say, Papa, pray for me because I'm having a chest pain. You are a fool. You are a fool. After coronavirus passes, you still take a Bible and say, I want the men of God to pray for me. Oh, I want to go and line up for deliverance. Yep. If you could not pray for any coronavirus patient, so let me declare and make this bold statement tonight.
Yes, sir.
Any pastor who cannot pray for coronavirus patients now is prohibited after coronavirus to be calling for healing services. Any pastor who cannot go to the hospital right now to pray for coronavirus patients, let us not hear you or see you on the poster after corona has passed, calling people for healing and deliverance. Thunder will strike you. I'm telling you. Thunder will fire you wherever you are. If you have power of healing, call for a healing and deliverance session at your house. Tell them, bring coronavirus patients to my house. This is the time where the power that you claim to have must be seen.
I am agreeing with him. I am totally in agreement with him. Where are all the pastors to heal the people After them have so much healing powers and healing oil and healing this and healing that. Black people, we in a serious problem. When we can go on and on and on and on and on. If you keep doing the same thing the same way all the while, you're going to get the same result. It's time you make a difference and a change. Yes, that your children don't come and curse you. Because you keep waiting on something that is an illusion. It's an illusion. And it's so weird that when Europeans recognize illusion, them use it for them power. Them know how to use illusion and make it become powerful for themselves. But we live in the illusion and expect the illusion to become a reality. That is how them trick we. And we just yield to the trickery. Because we have some people round way, whether them is political or religious leaders round way, where them lead you over there. So, you know, when a man and his wife are in a serious problem, and the man beat the woman, and she go to her pastor, and the pastor say, he might beat me, so what do you think me should do? Him start quote Bible to her. And I'm sure I said she must stay home and try it out, make it go and work. And then she end up dead. I know of 2 cases like that. The woman go to the pastor and tell the pastor, say, my husband beat me, sir. I feel to left him. Him say, no, according to the Bible. You understand? And she go back to him. And the man kill her. And every day you hear African people, especially poor people, with the emphasis on poor people searching for them deliverance in a church made of bricks and stone with a guy up there who is much, much better off than them. Who that same guy teach them to look down upon people like me. Look down and say, them man there, them is the incarnation of the devil. Don't listen to them. Don't make your picture listen to them. Yet still when I talk, I not ask nobody for no money. I go to go work for my money. And sometimes I have to give to it too. The reality is that the consciousness that's supposed to liberate you and free you is frowned upon by most black people. Most black people can't take the argument about no Africa this and Africa that. They want to go to New York City and London. That is where they want to go. You can't tell them about them want to go to Nigeria or Ghana or them places. Them say after me no mad, go wish Ghana want people come near me. I mean, I go run up and down naked. Because that is them perception, that is them illusion that was painted and sent to them in them consciousness or unconsciousness. And we who go to Africa and recognize that it's another city. You have so much concrete jungles in Africa and skyscrapers and all these things where them want to go to. But because it's Africa, them don't want to go there. Them don't want to even mention it in here. And the teacher them in the school them. There's no African liberation studies in primary schools and nothing like that for really protect the black child from the bombarding of European images and European ideas and European thoughts. There's nothing there that is protecting them. And when them leave school, them parents is so bossy. When you look on the food when them a feed the pit them, it get them hyperactive. Well, heap of sweet and you wonder why them are so excited and jump up and down and all them places. Because the parents don't know nothing about him, nor know nothing about themselves. Because them live till 9 to 5. And them can't think about nothing else. The rent man come, the water bill, the light bill, and all the other things them in between. The nail polish, the fingernail, the eyelash, the weave, those things confront black people and set up their mind. And their mind is not here, not there, not nowhere or everywhere. No there. Jack and Jill keep going up the hill for years, and Jack keep falling down, and Jill came tumbling after. We keep going through the same motions and emotions for centuries, and we can't see and recognize that there's something intrinsically wrong in the path that we are taking. The path that we are taking shows that it is benefiting Europeans. And the more we take that path, is the more Europeans have domination over we. And we who claim to have the richest continent, have the poorest people, we who claim to be the first people, is now the last people. And look how much heroes and sheroes come for help we, for liberate ourselves. And that is the end of them when them dead. When them dead, is our next episode. And somehow we still at search for hero. And our last hero is not even someone that we make a hero. It's when Europeans make a hero and give way. And say, see your hero here, wash in his blood, and you will be saved. Not now, but when you're dead. And that is the thing that them perpetuate power. That there's no other place that we should be fighting for other than this earth. This earth is where we are and where we will be until the time of our death. Yet still we are looking forward to something that no man living now know what will take place there. We are sure of this earth. We're sure of this life. We need to make this earth and this life be meaningful and have a purpose. Salvation is when we can be happy and feel joyful. Not the little frivolous way of being joyful, but inside, connect with you and connect with others. It's not revenge we are look. We are look definition, defining ourselves and having our place upon earth as human beings. It's not fight we are look. It's not dominance we are look. For dominate and dominate and dominate. We not look nothing for dominate. We don't want to have dominion. We want to be human beings. We want to be conscious of our surrounding and what is it that will allow us that happiness that we search for. We search for happiness inside. Inside. And so far where we are though, is not carrying us to that we would have called nirvana or that utopic way. It's not carrying us there. It's diverting us. It's diverting us. Them having us a thing from food, clothes and shelter, food, clothes and shelter, food, clothes and shelter. water rate, light bill, bus fare, superficial food, artificial food, doctor bill, corruption in high places and low places. We need to wake up. Yeah, we need to wake up. Because all the nations around, as they have woken up. They have woken up. That's why I see some of them, white people can't go tell them nothing. White people can't go tell Chinese nothing. Nothing. Chinese people are afraid of white people. Because white people take them, Chinese people take themselves out of the gutter and out of the abyss of nothingness and come find themselves. The English go to, the British go to India and divide India and call one side Pakistan and one side India. And now the Indian them rise above the British. The British can't go back over there and tell them nothing. And we sit down over here so, in this part of the world that we call Carry-Us Beyond. We are a group of islands, most side maintain European domination. And them dominate way. All our laws and our ideas and belief system is manipulated and controlled by the same man them who put we in bondage for how much hundreds of years. And we still have follow them way. How can we be following these people ways when we are in the gutter and them is in the mansion? Collectively, we search for that happiness, not one person happiness, but collective. And it will be seen that it's an illusion and it's an elusive thing, but it's not true. That is what they want you to believe, because them have it. So why can't we, as the first?
Because Target should be on the streets with us, calling for the I don't give a damn if they burn down Target. Because Target should be on the streets with us, calling for the justice that our people deserve. Where was AutoZone at the time when Philando Castile was shot in a car, which is what they actually represent? Where were they? So if you are not coming to the people's defense, then don't challenge us when young people and other people who are frustrated and instigated by the people you pay. You are paying instigators to be among our people out there throwing rocks, breaking windows, and burning down buildings. And so young people are responding to that. They are enraged. And there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops. Charge the cops. Charge all the cops. Not just some of them. Not just here in Minneapolis. Charge them in every city across America where our people are being murdered. Charge them everywhere. That's the bottom line. Charge the cops. Do your job. Do what you say this country is supposed to be about, the land of the free for all. It has not been free for black people, and we are tired. Don't talk to us about looting. Y'all are the looters. America has looted black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. We learned it from you. We learned violence from you. We learned violence from you. The violence was what we learned from you. So if you want us to do better, then damn it, you do better.
When you are willing and not afraid anymore to pay the price for freedom, don't let this white man tell you that violence is wrong. Every damn thing that he got it by being violent. Killing people, raping and robbing and murdering. He's doing it as we speak. And then he has the nerve to come and tell us that violence and hatred won't get it. Don't buy that. He's worthy to be hated. Worthy because of the evil that he does. God hates. I don't know why man think you're better than God when God in the Bible said he loved Jacob, but he hated Esau. In the Bible, he said, no man can serve two masters. He'll love one and hate the other. They have made us little sheep that they can walk over and run over. But when we decide it's over, and we should make that decision, it's over. We're not taking it anymore, and we cannot pass on to another generation the legacy of our cowardice when we know the problem and won't move to erase the problem. That's our fault. We gotta change. See, one of the things that our ancient people knew, yours and mine, when it got to the point where they would be extinguished, they had to fight. Even if they lost, they had to fight. So the great warrior spirit came up out of us. Same with the blacks, same in Haiti, same in Central and South America, the Maroons. All of those came to a position where they had to fight. In that church, where 9 of our brothers and sisters were shot down by a skunk, how in the hell are we justified in offering him love and he offers us death?
Somebody asked me the other day.
Excuse me for my passion.
That's
brother.
okay. They asked me, can you forgive him? And I looked at him, I said, no, I cannot forgive him because he knew what he was doing. He was cold and calculated, and he was just fostering the same hate.
Who asked you that question, brother? Did he look like us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah, I know.
How in the hell? I mean, it's an insult
It
to
is
me
an insult.
that you're going to ask me, can you forgive? How long have white people been doing this kind of evil to the darker people in the earth?
Well, how long
Since
do we have
they've
to
been
continue?
here. And when we make up our mind, we're not taking it no more. Because it's better to be dead than to live under tyranny all the days of your life. This is why America separated from England. The tyranny of King George was too much for them to bear. So what did they do? They decided death is better. So it was Patrick Henry that said, give me liberty or give me death. And until we come up with that kind of mind, I'd rather be dead than to live continuously under this kind of tyranny. And when you think like that, you'll do what is necessary to move the tyrant.
If you have fear,
Racism
honey, get in
is a
your
business.
supreme.
For centuries, it has underpinned global economic exploitation. And like any successful business idea, it needs great marketing, PR, and advertising to ensure lasting success. And that marketing affects everyone. Let me give you an example. I remember a few years ago, after having just finished the tour, I was paying in some cash at the bank. We'd done quite well on merchandising. Next to me at the counter, another young Afro-Caribbean male, similarly dressed, was also paying in quite a large sum of money. Surprisingly, my first thought was one of suspicion. I wonder what he does for a living. Yes, even though I know that working class young black men do not control the multi-billion-dollar drug industry, the connection between people who look like me and drug dealing has been seared into my mind thanks to a lifetime of advertising campaigns like this. These images feed a culture of racial assumptions that produce microaggressions that I'm going to call everyday racism. Now, in the context of global injustice, these might seem trivial, but in fact, these daily hostilities lay the ground for much larger systemic violence. Everyday racism is the normalized experiences that we encounter daily based on our difference from the white norm. Take being stopped and searched by the police at age 12, what would be the first of many times. People shouting nigger or coon from car windows on trips to Romford during my time playing for West Ham as a schoolboy. regularly being asked if I have drugs to sell or to pay up front for black cabs, or being sarcastically asked by a tutor when I attended the Royal Institution Mathematics masterclasses how many of the tribe I was bringing to the family celebration day. I could go on. I've left out the hard stuff. Constantly feeling like a suspect leads to the kind of shame that pathetically makes me take the bass out of my voice or attempt to make myself smaller when I'm in a lift alone with a white woman. In the world of a white and Jesus and Hollywood's white savior motif, the idea that white is right has taken root globally to the degree where skin bleaching has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. According to the World Health Organization, 40% of Chinese women bleach their skin, and 77% of Nigerian women, the world's highest percentage. And it's not just those two countries. Millions of humans literally pouring bleach onto their skin to try and be whiter. Normalized insanity. Of course, this internalization is how effective advertising works. Major brands become etched into your psyche, and the system that sells racism is doing a fantastic job. For example, I've visited countless schools and again and again and again seen children of African origin get embarrassed when saying their own foreign-sounding names, even at schools with predominantly black and Asian pupils. I'm yet to see a child called Tim or Paul laugh in shame as they introduce themselves. Yet racism seems to be one of the only problems that some people, conveniently, believe that we can solve without first analysing its cause and then plotting its destruction, as any concerned doctor would with any other disease. We cannot let ourselves be bullied into being silenced for fear of playing the race card. And whilst we must not conflate every act of prejudice with structural white supremacy, we must recognise the relationship between top-down propaganda and the bias that we carry.
Must not let Mom and Pop know. Another gift she pretends to like. Dolls. I murdered my dolls, tore off their arms and legs, slammed their crumbly heads into walls until they cracked and blue glass eyeballs rolled out of those synthetic skulls. I murdered my dolls, decapitated them in ritual child drama rebellion. I hated that stuff they called hair and raked it out with combs, thin, wispy leaves of it, threw the bald corpses into the trash, hid them under the bed, stomped them in my imagined scenarios of crime. Just like Mommy's stoves weren't bad. I liked to cook. I liked trucks and trains and baseballs and all the good shit girls couldn't have. The best toy I ever had, a chemistry lab with real microscope. I experimented. Stuffed animals were acceptable, like the pale melon terrier I took to bed every night till Doggy's stuffing all came out. He met his demise at the stealthy hands of an unsympathetic babysitter. I hated dolls. White dolls. Dolls with pasty flesh unlike my own, and alien straight hair, and stiff, sticky crinoline dresses, puffy red cheeks, and tight little asses with no holes. I destroyed them with pleasure.
Yes, the poem named dolls. Images we are talking about, and how images project themselves into your subconscious and come to the consciousness that you can't think about nothing else but a white doll. And most parents give them child a white doll. Even in them days, yeah, all the day you hear we attack and attack. Sometimes in some place and me say a little 3-4-year-old come out with a white dolly. And I comb the ear like, I saw things to stay. And the black woman there is keeping herself quite comfortable because she give the baby the dolly. She can do what she want, She not really look on the youth. Who remember when their mother used to comb them ear? And because you ball out, them licking her head and say you're nasty. When you look on the comb, that comb was not made to comb black people ear. Because our ear kinky. and like black pepper grain, what them used to say. So when them push that the comb like head, it dry up the ear and it burn you. And them lick you. And say you're nasty because you don't want your ear comb. What a thing.
Beautiful. Hey, beautiful. Beauty is about how you behold, more than silver, more than gold. If I say I am beautiful, then beauty is accessible. Beauty is about how you greet the everyday people that you meet. You are beautiful, so I'll rejoice. Your beauty is a natural choice. My sister is a beautiful girl, but she don't want to be Miss World. Her value is not prize money, more value than a pearl. My sister is a beautiful girl, human delight. She could be out of sight, but she would rather stay and fight. Her legs are firm and sharp, best for self-defense. This daughter kicks like wildfire, so cause no grievance. But she won't walk the platform to upset people lost. And you can't get the number of her height, age or bust. She don't want to go to the market to be viewed like a slave. The viewing time is over, put the judge in the grave. She don't need to go to the market, cause she's already won. Beauty contest, no contest, she don't need to run. I talk about people in society who judge you by your looks. Them give you a number that is written in a book. And lustful eyes from all around come to look at you. They judge your lifetime by a quick interview. My sister is a beautiful girl, but she don't want to be Miss World. Her personality cannot be rewarded by no judge or earl. My sister is a beautiful girl, she needs no contest. And you can't put her with another judging who's the best. And you cannot judge my sister's heart.